the important terms of fuse. This comes under Unit 2 of switchgear and protection. The Unit 2 is fuses and circuit breakers. So the main objectives of today's session is one, the important terms or terminology on fuses. Second, the parameters which decides the selection of fuse element. And third, the characteristics of fuse. So the course outcome is as follows. At the end of this session, the students are able to know the different terminology on fuses. Second course outcome is knowledge on fuse elements. That depends on the ratings and all. Third, the students are able to know the different characteristics of fuse or fuse element. So first we'll see what is fuse. So the basic definition of fuse. Fuse is a short piece of metal inserted in electrical circuit which melts when excessive current flows through the circuit or flows through the network. Or the fuse can also be defined as fuse is the weakest link in an electrical circuit which melts when excessive current flows through the circuit or flows through the electrical network. So this is the simplest arrangement for electrical circuit. So where we have got a source and you have got a protective element in the form of fuse. It is connected to the conducting material and finally it will be connected to the load. So these are all the different ratings of fuse. Fuse which is having a 32 amperes and operating voltage of 450 volts AC supply. So this electrical circuit or electrical network, again it can be operated under two modes, normal mode of operation and fault mode. So whenever you have got a short circuit or when you have got a fault, so the fuse element will blow or fuse element will get melt so that it acts as a protective equipment in order to protect both the source and load. So then what are the properties of fuse? The fuse or fuse element should have the following properties. One, the fuse element should have high conductivity. Second, it should have low melting point. Third, it should have low resistance. Fourth, less oxidation. And fifth, low cost. See, these are all the properties of fuse element which we are using as a protective device or the protective element. Then when it is come to the advantages of fuse. So fuse we are using as a protective element or this is the simplest form of protection in the power system. So these are all the advantages of fuse. One, there is a high speed of operation. So now we are comparing the fuse with the circuit breaker. The circuit breaker is also a protective element or the protective device. So when it is come to the speed of operation, the operating time of fuse is less. So therefore we can call it as a high speed of operation. Second advantage is replacement of fuse is easy. Third, simple in construction. Fourth, noiseless operation. Fifth, no maintenance is required. Sixth, the simplest form of protection. And seventh, reliable for low currents. And of course, last advantage is the low cost. See, at the meantime, the fuse or fuse element will have a few disadvantages. The first disadvantage for fuse is the replacement of fuse for each and every operation. See, this is the drawback in case of fuse when you compare that with your circuit breakers. Second, the fuse or fuse element, it is reliable only for the low currents. High currents, it is not possible to go for fuse. So then we have to depend on the circuit breaker, but it is very reliable for the low currents. See, these are all the important terms we are supposed to discuss in this session. The important terms pertaining to the fuse, one is the current rating of the fuse, fusing current, third, fusing factor, fourth, prospective current, fifth, cutoff current, sixth, pre-arcing time, seventh, arcing time, eighth, the breaking capacity. Okay, we will see what are the definition for the different terms. One is current rating. Current rating for the fuse, it is the current which the fuse can normally carry without melting. The current rating of the fuse, it depends on the type of material used for the fuse element. For example, if the fuse element has got a 5 amperes rating, say up to 5 amperes it normally carry without melting. So therefore that 5 amperes we call it as the current rating for the fuse. Second terminology is the fusing current. Fusing current, it is the minimum value of current at which the fuse element melts and disconnects the electrical circuit. So there is a difference between current rating and fusing current. Current rating is one, it is a minimum current at which the fuse element will normally carry. Fusing current, it is a minimum current at which the fuse element will get melt. For example, if you allow 7 amperes, at 7 amperes if the fuse element will get melt, so that 7 amperes we call it as in the fusing current. So the fusing factor is one, it is the ratio of fusing current to the current rating of the fuse. So therefore the fusing factor, it can be it as an fusing current divided by the current rating. So always the fusing current is more than the current rating of the fuse. So hence the fusing factor is always more than 1. Next we'll see what is the prospective current. So this is the waveform pertaining to the prospective current. So the prospective current is 1. It is the first loop of fault current. It is the first loop of fault current when the fuse element is replaced with a conductor of negligible resistance. The RMS value of the first loop of fault current, we can call it as the prospective current. So therefore, the prospective current is 1. It is the first loop of fault current when the fuse element is replaced by a conductor of negligible resistance. The reason is, if you are using a fuse element instead of a conductor of negligible resistance, the fuse element will get melt before it reaches to the peak of the first loop. So therefore, we can get the prospective current only by replacing the fuse element with a conductor of negligible resistance. So the fault current has very large first loop and the heat generation is sufficiently high to melt the fuse element. Again, the amount of heat dissipation, H, it can be given as I squared into R into T. So when you have got a large loop, I parameter becomes high and hence the amount of heat dissipation will be more. So therefore the fuse element will get melt. So next we'll see what is arcing time, pre-arcing time and total operating time. So the pre-arcing time is 1. It is the time between the commencement of fault and at the instant when cutoff occurs. So therefore, whatever the time between the commencement of fault and the instant at which the cutoff occurs, that can be referred as the pre-arcing time. When fault occurs, the fault current rises rapidly and generates heat in the fuse element. As the fault current reaches to the cutoff value, the fuse element melts and arc is initiated. The pre-arcing time is generally small and typically the value is 0.001 second. Arcing time, the time between the end of pre-arcing time and the instant of arc get extinguished. So at the end, it is the time between the pre-arcing time and the instant at which the arc gets extinguished. So this is the typical waveform for the prospective current. So this is called as the prospective current, and this we call it as in the first loop of the fault current, and this is the commencement of fault and where the cutoff occurs, and the time between these two we call it as in the pre-arcing time, and the time between the cutoff and the end of arc extinction, it is called as in the arcing time. And this we can be referred as 0 to T1 and T1 to T2. The T1, it will be referred as pre-arcing time, and T2 will be referred as the arcing time. So then when it is come to the operating time, so the operating time, the sum of pre-arcing time and the arcing time is known as the total operating time for fuse. So therefore, the sum of pre-arcing time and arcing time, it can be referred as the total operating time for fuse or fuse element. Hence, the total operating time, it is equal to the pre-arcing time, that is T1, plus the arcing time T2. Hence, the total time of operation, it is equal to T1 plus T2. So then we'll see what is breaking capacity of fuse. So the breaking capacity, it is the RMS value of AC component of maximum prospective current that the fuse can carry or handle with the rated voltage. The RMS value of AC component of maximum prospective current that can be handled by the fuse element at the rated voltage, whatever the product of those two, that can be referred as the breaking capacity for fuse or the fuse element. See, these are all the different terminologies we are using for fuse or fuse element. One is the current rating, second is the fusing current, third the fusing factor, fourth the pre-arcing time, next arcing time, next total operating time, and the breaking capacity. So then when it is come to the classifications of fuse, the fuses can be classified into two. One, low voltage fuses, and second is the high voltage fuses. The low voltage fuses are further classified into one, semi-enclosed rewirable, or what we call it as a KitKat fuse. Second, high rupturing capacity. It is generally referred as HRC fuse. And these are all the comparison between fuse and circuit breaker. The fuse has got a high speed of operation because it doesn't have any sensing device in order to sense. So whenever there is an excessive current, if it is more than the fusing current, so the fuse element will get melt. So hence the time of operation is less, and hence we call it as a high speed of operation. But when it is come to the circuit breaker, so it will take more time of operation, so hence the speed of operation, it is comparatively less, because the circuit breaker alone will never sense any abnormality of the system. So it needs an associative devices in the form of relay. So the relay will sense, then it will give signal to the circuit breaker, so then it will get disconnect. So hence the total operating time for circuit breaker, it is high, and hence we call it as the speed of operation is comparatively less than the fuse for circuit breaker. The second comparison is, this is simple in construction. So we have got two leads, and in between these two we have got a fuse element which is having a low melting point with less oxidation. See, of course there is some complexity in construction of circuit breaker. So the fuse has got noiseless operation, but whereas the circuit breaker, it will produce noise. So there will be no maintenance is required for fuse, and the circuit breaker which needs some maintenance. Next comparison is replacement. So the fuse, it can be replaced easily, whereas the replacement of circuit breaker, it will take little complex, so therefore it is difficult to replace. And the fuse, it is reliable for low currents, and the circuit breakers are reliable for high currents. The fuse, again we can have a definition like the simplest form of protection. The circuit breaker, again it is also a protective device. The fuse, the breaking capacity is less. So again the breaking capacity, it is RMS value of AC component of the prospective current at the rated voltage. But since the circuit breaker, it is reliable for high currents, the current handling capacity of the circuit breaker, it is high, and therefore the breaking capacity is also high. And finally cost is less for fuse, and we have got more cost for the circuit breaker. So when it is come to the characteristics of fuse, so the fuse, we have got different characteristics like inverse time, definite inverse, extreme inverse, and these are all the comparison of different curves with different ratings. So this is the curve, or this is the inverse time characteristics of 200 amperes fuse, and this is the inverse time characteristics of 100 amperes fuse, and this is the inverse time characteristics for 60 amperes fuse. So now we are comparing the different fuse elements like 60 amperes, 100 amperes and 200 amperes. So we are taking current along y-axis and time in seconds along x-axis. So when you have got a more current, it will take very less time. When you got a less current, it will take more time. So that is called as the inverse time characteristics, because the time of operation is inversely proportional with the magnitude of current. So whenever you got a more magnitude, it will take less time. Less magnitude of current, it will take more time. So we will take some simple multiple choice questions. So the question number 1 is like this: the minimum time of operation of fuse is dash than a circuit breaker. So the options are more, B less, C both A and B, D either A or B. So the minimum time of operation, it is always less than the circuit breaker, because the total operating time, it is equal to T1 plus T2. So where the T1, it is the pre-arcing time, and T2, it is the arcing time. Both are very less, and hence the total operating time for fuse, it is less. So therefore the solution for question 1 is B. Question number 2: a fuse element should have dash melting point. The options are A high, B more, C less, D low. So this is one of the properties of fuse element. Whatever the fuse element you are supposed to select, it should have less melting point. The fuse element should have more melting point. So the solution for this is high melting point. Question number 3. The value of fusing factor is always dash than unity. Options are A more, B less, C more or less, D both A and B. The solution is always the fusing factor. It is the fusing current divided by the current rating. So hence it is always more than 1. So the solution for question 3 is A, more than unity. Fourth, a fuse has dash breaking capacity as compared to the circuit breaker. The options are A high, B less, C both A and B, D either A or B. So always the fuse has less breaking capacity compared to the circuit breaker. The reason is the current handling capacity of the fuse, it is comparatively less than the circuit breaker. Therefore the breaking capacity of the fuse, it is less. So hence the solution for this is B. So the next question, a fuse has dash time characteristics. So as we discussed, so we have got a different time characteristics like inverse, definite inverse, extreme inverse. So the fuse has got inverse time characteristics where the time of operation, it is inversely proportional with the magnitude of current. So hence T, it is inversely proportional to 1 by I. So the answer for this is inverse. Next question, the action of fuse dash completely automatic. The action of fuse, it is inherently completely automatic. Inherently is the solution for question 6. 7. The fuse element generally made up of dash. So the fuse elements are generally made up of material silver. So therefore the silver is the answer for the question 7. The fuse performs dash functions. The fuse performs, it will do both detection and interruption. So therefore the solution for this is both detection and interruption. So before concluding or before going for thanking the team, so we can summarize the entire session. So this entire session which deals with the different terminology associating with fuse or fuse element, and the objectives of this, we know the different terminology, we know the characteristics of fuse, and we can go for the selection of fuse element for different applications. So at the end of this session, the students are able to know the different terminology with respect to the fuse or fuse element. Students are able to know the breaking capacity, prospective current, and fusing factor for fuse. And the students are able to know the different characteristics of fuse. So this, we got a few multiple choice questions. So these multiple choice questions will helpful to know the entire session in within a short duration. And I thank you. And this is our team headed by Srimati Aruna and Dr. K. Tippeswamy. Thank you.